Hey guys, welcome to the Scoop, where we have real locker room talk with real athletes and players. I'm Perfect Pervis, and joining me is Jamal Clay, owner of Athletes Forum, and our guest today, Kaleb Leach. And before we even get into it, Kaleb, this is just something we like to do on this show. We like to do a resume, and we know you're a little bit different of a guy. Normally, so far we've only had like football players, but I'm still going to get you right, my brother. I'm still going to get you right. So take a look at this resume here. We're going to talk about Kaleb Leach. My guy, Kaleb Leach, played at Florida Tech, University of Toronto. He finished his undergrad at Florida Tech, then went to University of Toronto, played a little bit out there. Then he decided to go over to the other side of the water. You know, he's been in Germany, Austria, Switzerland, basically all over Europe because of his job duties. But this guy, this different guy, guys. Put the football stuff on the burner right now. He's doing stuff on the other side for him. He's the Europe's elite president currently, does AFI social media director and events. He also spent some time as Salzburg Bulls defensive coordinator. He's been on the Dacia Vikings coaching staff. He's currently on the Swarco Raiders coaching staff with the running backs. Had a 1-year stint in GFL 2 with I can't say the name of the city they're from, man.
Montabaur Fighting Farmers.
There you go. Montabaur Fighting Farmers, where he was a defensive back, receiver, running back, return man, everything they needed. In that one season playing in GFL 2, had 735 total yards, had 1 tub, and 48 tackles. My man was everywhere. Okay, so that's the intro, man. I did what I could, spent a few hours researching you, trying to figure out your story. And if you're listening or watching, I do this a little different, guys. I don't ask Kaleb any of these questions. Like, he doesn't know that this is coming. This is a surprise for him. It's kind of like our gift to you. Like, man, we respect you. We're going to give you your roses from the beginning, bro. And before we even get into like topics and stuff, just want to ask you about your career. You know, a lot of people don't know that you've been in Europe for what, 3-4 years? Not even that long, right?
Not super long. I mean, 2018 was the first year coming to Europe. And I mean, you got a lot of that stuff, right? Like the stats, I have no idea where you got those because there was
GFL keep perfect stats, man. The only thing was I couldn't find out the Salisbury Bulls stuff because they now play with the other team. So
exactly.
Because if they would have, done stats in like Austria, like they do it in Germany, I would have went and found those and put them on there too. I was like, number 5 defense in the league. Like I was on it, bro. I was trying to get you right, man.
Our analytic team is off the chart.
You're good. I didn't I forgot all those numbers, but I mean, you got I'd say 98, 99% of that right. America, Canada, got a chance to meet with a CFL team, whatever. Then Germany. I was in Japan for a slight bit, very, very slight bit, and came back out here and been in Europe since, just running around, coaching, doing this stuff with the websites, with Europe's Elite and American Football International. It's been pretty fun.
Yeah, and before we get into everything else, just want to say an interesting thing about Kaleb. His resume didn't have as much football stuff as we're normally accustomed to, but you are a standout running back. In both high school, was it like all state, all country, all world? Then you went to college. You were a starter. I think you were all conference in college as well, and played in college in what was it, Florida Tech, and then went all the way north to Toronto. Like, you were well traveled before you ever crossed the water. Like, you were already well traveled by living in Florida and then going to Canada. That's got to be a shock. And then you go over to Germany. You've been in Austria. You get with Europe's Elite. You start traveling Europe. Now with AFI as well, you get opportunities to do more in this side of the world. It's really refreshing because you're one of those guys who maybe didn't play as long as you should have. You decided early. A lot of guys, and I'm not going to say no names, but they know who they are. I'm not talking about you, Jamal. Don't think this is a slight. But a lot of guys, they play too long, and then they start doing the other stuff, and it's so late in the game that they can't get what they want. You chose early. Like, earlier than most people to say, you know what, football is great, but I've done what I want to do playing wise. Let me get into coaching and get into helping grow the sport through the company, Europe's Elite, helping with AFI, things like that, however you can. And that's just a testament that, you know, these guys are out here. If you're listening and watching, these guys are out here. There's people here to support the game as well as play the game. And you can also impact it outside of just playing. I mean, how else you gonna get on our show? We ain't looking for scrubs out here. Like, we're not looking for nobodies, you know. Like, we look for people that can, you know, make an impact, and our audience will understand what they're doing. So yeah, man, I'm sorry to drag it on. I'm from Texas. You know, I talk too much, but just letting you know, man, we appreciate you coming on the show today, and we're gonna chop it up for real.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm excited. I'm excited for today.
I'm also a little geeked up. I've been drinking my coffee, so, you know, got a little energy.
You're good.
The European juice out there, though.
Yeah.
I didn't start drinking coffee till I lived in Europe. If I'm being perfectly honest.
Yeah.
I'm still not a coffee guy. I'm still water and juice.
I'm a pause after I say this, but Finland, the average is 7 cups per person. So just imagine. I was 2 months in before they got me started. And now I'm just there. I'm down to 3 or 4 cups a day, but that's low for Finland. Like, I'm on the low side.
Yeah.
During the wintertime when it's cold and I ain't got shit else to do and I need to keep going, I'm up to about 6, 7 cups myself.
Holy.
You'd be surprised. Like, it'll get you through the day. All right, so first topic, and this is actually really good topic to have you on with, Kaleb, because of your experiences. We want to talk about what Europe can offer athletes, coaches, anybody interested in, you know, the international American football scene, what Europe can offer outside of the game, off the field things. Like, you especially have probably experienced a lot of different, you know, job opportunities, life changes, things like that. So we just want you to kind of give us an overview of some of the things that you think makes Europe a great place to live outside of just playing football and being involved with it.
For sure. No, it's funny. I didn't know this was going to be our topic, but I just had a conversation with a close friend this morning about that. And my advice to everyone would be leave home, travel, experience as much as you can about life, because the majority of the things and I've learned and the wisdom I've gained over life has been outside of the classroom and beyond just playing the game itself. But getting them to dive into the Deutsch culture in Germany and Austrian culture in Austria, Switzerland, France, Spain, Japan, all these cultures, and taking in their history and understanding why people move the way they do or respond to certain things the way they do, it really opens your mind in a different way. So it's such an enlightening thing when you get a chance to travel and you gain a sense of peace that there is a positive form of life outside of your hometown and you don't have to be afraid to leave. That's what I would say.
Yo, it's crazy because I remember like in 2015 when I had signed to go over to Switzerland, like even when I signed, I still didn't think that it was still real that I was going. And then I landed in Zurich and I'm looking around, don't know anything in German or anything. I'm looking around, I was like, yo, what the hell did I just sign up for?
Yeah.
And I could have met some random person at baggage claim who said he was my coach, and then, you know, who knows what would happen. But that experience, I've grown the most as a person, just getting out of my comfort zone. And Europe has so much to offer that it's hard to just put it into words. And obviously, you know, you two are still out there. And I think that's a testament to like just alone like what not only playing over there can offer, but what the experience outside of the sport can offer.
I think if I was to weigh in on it, I would obviously say like the experience. That's you only live once, you know, YOLO and all that jazz. But just think about it. Most people in this world, both sides of the world, and not just in the United States where the country is huge and people are set in their ways, but most people in the world, they live an entire lifetime and don't see anything outside of what they already knew. You know, me and you two guys, I ain't say no names, but we could probably all name people that we went to high school with who are still in that same exact town that we went in high school with. And you're like, it's been, you know, I'm not going to date myself, but it's been more than 5 or 10 years. Let's say that. It's been a while. And, like you got those first couple years after high school where some people might go off and do college and then come back, or some people might just try to figure out where they want to do in the world and then come back. And then you got some people that just, hey, I'm not leaving. I'm just going to stay where I'm at. And then you got guys like us who, even after we went all the way, we took college, and instead of going home, we said, okay, let's see what we can do in Europe. Let's see if I can do this here. And then what happens with a lot of us is you see that there's so much more to life than what you've been told and spoon-fed for almost 20-something years, where your hometown and home life is. And you're like, I love this. Let me get a piece of this. Let me be involved. I think that if you ever do decide to come out here, and this is something that all imports say, and so we have to say it over and over, is that you got to travel, man. If you come out here and you're like, oh, this is a business, this is my job, I got to do it. Take your ass back home, because you're not helping. You're not helping the culture. No offense. But if you're out here to one, help your team, two, experience and have a cultural transference. I don't know, exchange or transfer. Yeah, a cultural exchange with your team. That's part of the experience. This isn't a money business that we're in out here. This is a culture experience. The whole shebang bang is about bringing your culture and having it mixed with the culture that's already here. And I mean, me personally, I've been here long enough. I mean, the last 5 years, I've seen culture shift. We talked about it before on the show, Jamal. Like, even the kids in Europe are a little bit more acclimated to what we're accustomed to in the States. Now, vice versa, I can't say the same. I don't be in the States like that. I don't know what they got going on. But you will find out that if you come out here in Europe, that like your eyes change, your life changes. If you go back to the States, you go back with a new respect for both Europe and the United States. And that's what it's all about, is that cultural exchange. I feel like I'm on another tangent, guys. I've been drinking too much coffee. Stop me anytime. But I think a cultural exchange is what you have to do when you come out here.
No, I was just agreeing with Vince there. Just, it's that exchange. This is what we experienced growing up in the U.S. or in Canada or South America or whatever, and then you get to come out to Europe and just learn life from a different perspective, and it makes you grow. Yeah.
Let me ask you guys this: you guys are firsthand experience out there. When did you decide that you were thinking about staying out there? Like obviously, once our season's done, we all can come back home and do whatever and come back for another season. But when did it set in with you guys that like, hey, like I might try to actually stay out here?
I want to say something interesting here. If I'm correct, Kaleb, you left, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so just throwing this out here, we both have situations where we actually didn't just stay. We actually left to other places and chose and made our way back to Europe, which, hint, that's probably something that you're going to see Jamal Clay do in the future as well. But, that's just, a whole nother thing. But, but Kaleb, go ahead. I just wanted to throw that out there because I think people might not understand that.
I thought that was a great point because you play your season or you coach your season or you do your job, you come out for the experience for the year, and like most imports, you have a cultural shock for a bit. But then for myself, I went home and was like, I've been away for so long, because after college, I went to Canada. And after Canada came here, then I was in Japan. So I'm like, man, I've been away for so long. I have no idea what I would do for work in the US. And my passion isn't just to sit here in the States and try to work out every day and wait for a phone call or something like that. So at that point, it had sparked in my mind to go back, figure out what I can do outside of football in a different space. That was mine. It was after going home.
With me, my situation, it's a little complicated. I'm not going to go into it. Like I said, I'm trying not to be too long-winded today, guys. But I'll go back to the season I had in Italy. I played in Italy, and I'd already played overseas. This was my second year over. I'm in Italy. I'm not going to say I'm lying, but I was balling, okay? I was balling. My team, we weren't necessarily winning, but I was balling, okay? I was putting up numbers. And I felt really good about where I was as an athlete. And I was in a good situation, living in Rome, nightlife and stuff, met great people. I was meeting in Rome, you meet people from all over the world. So I was meeting a lot of people, talking to a lot of people about football. I was like, man, I got to keep doing this. So I was like, I'm not going home. So I figured out a way to get into Brazil. I was in Brazil for another 6 months after that. So I was actually away for almost 9 or 10 months doing 2 seasons in 2 different cultures. And I got burnt out and I was like, oh man, I'm tired. I got to go home. As soon as I get home, 3 weeks in, I'm like, okay, how do I get back out there? How do I get back out there? Because this ain't for me. Like I got a nice little cushiony job out here. I'm working out all the time, but like this ain't for me. I'm just gonna work on getting back out there. And I was like, I just want to go one more time. And I did go one more time, went to Finland. And even after Finland, I was like, I'm done. I'm gonna go back to the crib. I'm, get me a 9 to 5. I'm gonna settle into life and get a little older. I'm gonna start looking for a wife, probably, have a little couple kids and stuff. And I went back home and I was like, that's what I want to do. And my personal situation brought me to Finland. My wife was from Finland and she came to visit me in the States, lived with me for a little while. And I, what a lot of guys won't do, I'm going to say it, I put a ring on it. I ain't have time for all that, juking and jiving. Let's go back here. You go here. I'm going to go there. Like, look here. You stay here. I'm put a ring on it. I'm treat you right. And we can live this Texas life. And it was great. And we enjoyed it. And she did well in the States with what we had going on, but she missed her family in Finland. And I told her, I was like, this is our situation. I'm your husband. You're my wife. We're going to do what's best for us. And I told my wife that moving to Finland for her is best for us. So we did that. And as soon as I got here, the first couple of months I was here, I wasn't worried about football. Football wasn't my main priority. I had other things in the works. Financially, we had things that were okay. Job-wise, there wasn't too much hassle. My number one purpose was to assimilate into the culture here in Finland. So that's actually how I got into football, was because assimilating to the culture, I was gravitated towards sports. And I got into basketball and football, and, the rest is history. Y'all don't need to know my history. This ain't about me. But what I learned mostly was that, being here, life was a little bit more lax. Things aren't hustle, bustle, get your money. You got to do this, got to have this, schedule. And it actually gave me time to find out what I wanted to do in my life and what things I wanted to do. I think that freedom and that quality of life that you get here in Europe is something that everyone strives for, but they don't know they want it until they get a taste of it. I think in the United States, our culture is so rigid and standards are already set before we start doing anything. Yeah. So people get accustomed to that, and you just don't realize that there's another way. There's another way. Just segue into something about all three of us have in common, being a Black man in the United States. It's a different type of life. And even out in Europe, there's, of course, if you're Black everywhere you go. Okay. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But there is a difference in, the culture and how people treat us here as more equals than African Americans or Black Americans. Like here, I'm just an American. And just that thought process right there makes things a little bit easier. You go places, and I mean, people have their prejudice and biases, but you don't have that general uneasy feeling that you do in the States in certain areas. Yeah. I'm from Texas. There are certain cities that I don't go. I just go around or, find a way to drive straight through because I can't do it. But here in Finland and all over Europe, Kaleb, the experience. I can travel. I go to Sweden all the damn time. They don't check my passport. And I'm like, it's kind of crazy. But, Shanghai or Nordics, whatever the area, they don't check the passports when you take those flights. I'm like, that's crazy.
No, it's comfortable. Like, just to touch on it, being a Black American outside of America was very enlightening because I don't think I was referred to as an American until I left America. It was always, you know what I'm saying? Like we were all
that's so true.
Like growing up, it was always, oh, you're Black or you're African American. I never got to be referred to as an American until I left. And then we leave. And he's like, oh, I'm American? Huh. Thanks. But it was really enlightening, man. So anyone who's listening, just the experience we just touched on there, you can't put words on it. It's something you have to experience.
Just dive in. Just dive in. That'd be my recommendation.
All
Yeah.
right. Have you checked out K Noah's ready-to-wear collection? It's K Noah's top-notch quality, but it's teamwear made custom for you and your team, so you can rep your squad now. All right, that's it for us on The Scoop. Talking real locker room talk as always. I want to thank our guest, Kaleb Leach, for coming on the show and kicking it with us today. As usual, it was great talking to you, man. I just want to let you know that we're here for you, man. We support you. Obviously, don't have to worry too much about supporting you on the field as a player because, you hung the cleats up. You are coaching and doing things with Europe's elite, obviously, at AFI. And we just want to let you know, we really wish you nothing but the best, man. And want you to be successful in your journey in Europe, building your career that you are right now. And we're really glad to have you on the show here today.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate you guys reaching out. I've gotten to know you all for a little over a year and a half. I love the energy you guys consistently have and just keep doing great work, keep hustling. Jamal, I know you flirted with the idea of moving back out. So if you do move back out to Europe, please let me know. Look forward to seeing you out here, man.
Yeah, I got you. It's in the works. We just gotta
in the works.
Work on a couple more things.
Don't come out here. Don't come out up north out here, brother. You don't want none of this. It's too cold. It's too cold out here. Go somewhere nice so I can visit you. I'm trying to move around, guys.
Right.
I got you.
I'm trying to move around. And as soon as they start, opening up some bands and stuff, I'm coming straight down to the south, trying to get some of that good weather y'all got down there. Kaleb, I'm talking to you now.
I hear you.
Come on down, man.
You got anything, Jamal? Before we get out?
Yeah, man. Just again, appreciate you coming on. Appreciate the time and just the conversation. Welcome to the locker room type stuff. Tell us what you got going on. At least any projects coming up or any shout outs you want to give before we exit this thing.
Not just what the coaches that I've worked with over the past few years definitely deserve some love. So. If you're a coach at the Swarco Raiders, if you're a coach anywhere in Austria, Germany, France, Italy, Spain, and you've just been enjoying helping develop some young guys throughout Europe, you're appreciated. You're doing a great job. Somebody probably doesn't tell you enough. Keep pushing, man. Keep climbing. Continue to climb. That's it.
Most definitely.
All right, that's it. Thanks for watching the show on YouTube or listening to it on your podcast outlet. Be sure to subscribe to Athletes Forum on YouTube or American Football in Finland on any podcast outlet, over 25 outlets, to watch The Scoop or to listen to The Scoop every week. We're out here every Wednesday right now. You can get us in video or audio format. We're out here. Support us the best you can. You can follow us on Twitter at The Scoop AF, on Instagram at Athletes Forum, and on Facebook at Athletes Forum. And again, if you follow us on any of these channels, you'll have a chance to win some teamwear swag provided by our sponsors at K Noah. And it's some nice stuff we got. I think we have a couple hats, some hoodies, it's stitched to last. There's some good stuff. So y'all definitely go and follow us so you can have a chance to be in those contests and win this free stuff. I don't know about if you're listening or watching, I don't know about y'all, but I love me some free stuff. I don't think there's nothing better than free stuff. So we're trying to give you some free stuff here on Scoop. Make sure you go and follow us. That's it for us, and we'll see you guys next time.